Everyone. So I guess we're live now, and we are going to continue the implementation with the infinite zoom and infinite panning in our note application. So current state of the application is something like this. Last stream I was having some issues implementing zoom, but I figured out a few things. If I'll show you the zoom currently is I press control and I can scroll in. So we can see the zoom in and zoom out. Right. So this is how it works. Now I want to implement some sort of a panning so I can shift the screen up or down by pressing the like middle mouse button, and then I can do it. So what I'm planning for this stream is that so the zoom is done by scroll wheel, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it right now. So last stream I was getting stuck at how we can draw on the like canvas, which is basically unlimited, and then how can I like uh, have a relative drawing kind of an experience. So I got to know about this function which is called, let me see, so we have some logs which I was doing for some debugging, and in the update if we see, yeah, get screen to world. So this method that we have, get screen to world, this is the method that I recently found out that I can use. Right, we can use this method to basically have the screen with sort of what you would say, whatever is in your camera, you can map things to that really easy using this method. So yeah, this is what I was working on the last stream, and in this stream I would quickly want to start with the implementation. Before doing that, I'll check in the code. I'll just go through it once. We should not have any logs or something. So yeah, I believe we can check this code and implement it. We can write a feature implemented zoom capability. Right, so we are done with that, and now we can start with panning. So last stream we got this example which is pretty good. So here you can do panning, like click, and you can do panning, and panning stuff is being done here. So what they're basically getting is get mouse delta. Now I am not sure what this function is. Mouse delta between frames, okay. And yeah, so mouse was here and then it moved here, so there is a delta. And what you do is you do vector to scale the delta. We have a delta which is what is delta? Okay, I'm not sure where this delta is coming from. Okay, so this delta is this one. Right. So we have this delta and we get mouse delta. We do vector to scale the delta with the camera zoom. And I'm not sure why we are doing this. I'm actually not sure why this is being done. So -1 f by camera zoom, and then we are adding this to the camera dot target. Okay, so target is like your complete screen, and then there you are panning it, and then there is an offset where you want to do things. So you have your target, and if you move the target, basically the screen will move, and you move it by delta, which is vector to scale delta. Okay, that is you scale it from here to here, and then you want to go in that direction, so you do -1 f. Let's ask Uh, Google, if can help us. I'm not sure Google will be able to help here. I guess we'll have to use the Clanker for this stuff. Yeah, let's see. Let's ask the Clanker. So, why this then for panning and reliability? Uh, Delta is usually the mouse difference between the frames. Uh, right. Y divided by camera zoom. When you zoom the camera, world units and screen pixels no longer match, which is correct. So 1 pixel equal to 1 screen unit. If you pan without compensation of zoom at high zoom, camera moves too fast. Yeah. So in order to not have that, we scale it. We scale the movement by this consistency regarding the zoom level. Okay, I think this is a pretty decent answer that we have got out of the Clanker, and yeah, and we can get started with our sort of implementation for this one. Where do I want to implement this? I will do it uh, in the update method. I should be doing it if rl dot is mouse button down, and we can do dot middle. Then we will do the panning. If the middle mouse button is down, you calculate the get mouse delta, and after getting the mouse delta, what you can do it returns a vector to, I believe. Yeah. So this will be your mouse delta that we have, and then you do your wait, what is the issue? Declare but not used, which is fine. You do your 1 over negative 1 over camera zoom. So if you do rl dot vector scale, vector to scale, right, mouse delta with minus 1.0 by camera dot zoom. This is what we have. Mouse delta, and instead of doing this, prefer v times the scale. Okay, we can do this. Do something like this, right? So this should be fine, I believe. And then you want to pan it, so you have to move the target basically. So you do camera dot target equal to camera dot target plus the mouse delta. This is what we are doing for panning. So if we check it out, we can do this, we can do the zoom, and if I hold the middle mouse button, I can basically like pan the stuff, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And then I can draw again, zoom, and then pan, right? So this is what I can do with the application right now. We have implemented sort of panning. Middle mouse button is a bit difficult. Can I implement something else? Should I implement control and left mouse button for panning? Like, what does the other software do? You can press space, I think. Do I have any other software like Krita? Let's see, Krita. Right, we'll open this one. We can zoom in, and if I want to pan, I can do middle mouse button, but pan is do we have pan tool? Hand tool, I believe, which is pan tool is there. if I want to quickly switch between these tool and use pen? I don't know where the pen is now. Okay, here we have this thing. This is a brush tool, and now I can't find where the pen is, which is really cool. Thanks, software. Alright, P. Should I be getting the pen? Absolutely not. So yeah, this is how software works. So one more thing I want to do, I want to have so that you can hold space and then you can pan. That is something I want to do. Um, or we do R dot is key down and then we do dot space. Let's see this one. I probably like this implementation more. If I press space, then we can pan. But I don't want to draw in that case, right? For some reason my mouse is moving. Okay, I need to fix this stuff. I need to have a is drawing flag then, which is a boolean. Or maybe I can have it here. No, I will have to take it up over here. Initially we say is drawing is true. Then we can pass this is drawing to the update. Which is a bool. So the first condition I want to check is drawing and this stuff. Wait, why I'm getting error? Cannot convert untagged value most possible to. Okay. That was a weird error. But if we press E, yeah, here we will do is drawing false, not here. Is drawing equal to false, and if this is not down, we say is drawing equal to true. See now, is drawing. Yeah, so we can draw stuff, we press space, and now we can pan. One thing I noticed that when we are panning, can't move the mouse. I believe this is no proof for other softwares. We should be able to move the mouse. Hmm. We should be able to move the mouse button, right? Okay. So have implemented this at the wrong place, I believe. Mm, no, maybe I think the behavior is fine, but let's see in Krita. If I zoom, okay, the behavior is the same. So we are good. So we have implemented like the planning and stuff, which wasn't too difficult to do. Yeah, I believe we are done with this stuff. So let's check in this code. I also want to do some UI stuff, but before that, I want to implement reset. So reset for Zoom is what I want to do. So let's do that first. Sorry, I do R for reset. Um, Maybe instead of doing E, is key down, is key. Instead of E, I should do it X, right? So now when we draw some stuff and press X, we can cut everything. And yeah, let's try to implement the zoom thing, resetting the zoom. So in the update method, basically, what I want to implement is if we are having rl dot is key pressed dot r, then what we want to do in this case is reset the zoom. So I do camera dot zoom is equal to 1.0. Let's see what this does. So if I have high, I've zoomed, I press R, we are back. So if I do some panning, if I do some zoom and press R, we get back to the original zoom level. Or should I also, I think I should also do like control plus and control minus at some point for let's implement the eraser. Um, probably an enum, which is called tool, and an enum which will be a pen, or do we have eraser or the pen tool, right? These are the three tools I am thinking right now. Maybe in the future I'll have some more. And what can I do with this stuff is tool selected is equal to the enum is tool dot pen. By default the pen tool is selected. Right, if the pen tool is selected, then we do one more condition. Tool selected is your pen or tool, and then in the update method we have to pass in the tool selected, and here we have the tool selected. So if the tool selected is not something like this, if uh, if the tool selected is equal to a pen, or do we even want to do the interpolation? If tool selected is equal to pen, I can do something like this, I believe. Or tool selected is basically equal to the eraser, right? Then we can draw stuff. Just the current color will be, what did I do? Yeah, thankfully I have it open. Okay, then we can draw we can select the draw color, which is config dot color, or we can write this thing. If tool selected is equal to pen, then we have this. Otherwise we will have background color. And if r dot is e pressed dot e, then tool selected is equal to eraser, and if r dot is key pressed dot p, then tool selected becomes equal to a pen. And in this case we are panning, so tool selected is equal to panning. We'll implement panning later on, because, or we can do implement the panning right now. Pan. I always forget this thing. Otherwise we switch to pan. To do better to store the last tool and reset to that. Maybe I'll implement it later. Right. So now when we launch the application, we get this. Press E. The pen tool is only there for some reason. This key press E, tool selected should have been eraser, and yeah, thing is we are not using the draw color, which is draw color, which is draw color. So we say hi, press E, and then we draw and nothing happens for some reason. Why not? So by default I save this pen. If tool selected is equal to eraser, draw color is equal to dot background color, and by default I say it is the current config, or the config dot current color. No, it doesn't work for some reason. I need to implement like a icon change as well at some point. Let's do this. Selected. Mm, okay, when we press E, it becomes eraser, and then again it becomes pen. Are we setting it inside the game loop? No. Mm. So what I'll do is I'll remove this from panning, and I'll do here an if condition if r dot is key released dot space, this stuff. I think this is better. So we do this. We can do panning, and if we press E, now we can erase it. So we basically have an eraser now. And if we press P, then we can draw again. We have the eraser. Press P. Yeah. We can do D for drawing instead of P for pen. We can do D. We have E and D, which are pretty close. So I do high, then an eraser, then I do D, and then I can draw more. Yep, this I think is fine. So we have implemented the eraser, and next thing that I want to implement is the change of the brush size basically. So brush size right now is 5, which is fixed, and I want to move this inside uh, here. Okay, I have a bunch of stuff that I want to fix, which is this. Is color selector brushes, color selector. Mm, it should be compiling fine. The zoom is working now. The pan tool is working. Zoom out, reset zoom. Everything seems to be working fine now. Yeah. And also the eraser tool that we have now. I need to change these brush size, so I want to make the brush size configurable. And yeah, before I do that, I'll check in this code. So it's naming right, and now we can implement the dynamic brush size. So for brush size, what I want to do is I want to press shift, and then I should be able to change the brush size. I want to do it via scrolling. So I want to do it via scrolling basically. Here you can click and then do this sort of stuff. This is a bit confusing to me. So I'll do scroll implementation for this one, and how I can do the scroll implementation is, let's remove the brush size from here and make it first of all the part of config, and brush size is going to be an integer or 32. simply do an integer, I believe. Brush size. You can make it a float if that is the case. I don't want to do like type conversions. Sorry. Brush size. Config dot brush size. Yeah. So now it is, I hope, successfully the part of brush size is 0. So initially when I do create config, I'll do the brush size equal to 5, and I can put it here. Initial brush size is 5. Now I can draw, I can erase, I can draw again, and yeah, that is all. Also, this one maybe later. Right. So now we have the brush size. I want to do this stuff in the update method, which is if the shift is down or is key down, shift left shift, uh, then we do this implementation where we do the scroll wheel implementation. So if it is scroll wheel up, then we want to change the brush size by scroll wheel. I saw a pretty good example for this one also, relay paint example. We have mouse painting. Yeah. So here if I do this and if I zoom in and out, then I do get this thing. Sorry. So brush size is changing by get mouse wheel move into 5. Okay. I'll dot get mouse wheel move brush size. So do config dot brush size equal to 2.0. See. So if I come here now, I can draw. I want to do rl dot clamp here for this stuff, and 5 as minimum and 100 as maximum. For some reason, the brush size isn't even changing. Notice key down is pressed. For some reason, the scroll is working for Zoom. And not RL dot is key down left shift. I do high, I press shift and scroll. The scroll doesn't happen, which is fine, but the brush size doesn't change for some reason. You have it here, right? Is key pressed. Um, okay. So I'll do config dot brush size is equal to RL dot, or I can implement it in this way. I can do RL. I can do config dot this thing, and here I can do RL dot clamp this thing. Clamp it to 5 or 2.0 to 50. When we draw, we press shift and zoom, press shift and unzoom. I would like to move it a bit faster, so I can do like 4. So we have also implemented the zoom in and zoom out for the brush size. So yeah, size of the brush we have implemented. this is also done. I think I'm done with the stream. So probably there are a lot of stuff that I want to continue with this application. I need some cleanup as well. Right now it doesn't look very good design wise. Um, Also I want to implement a few more things. I want to move the UI somewhere here. So this part will be the UI, like, okay, here. So I can erase everything and go back to drawing. If I do something like this, here I want to show the color picker. Here I will show the brush size slider maybe, and here I can show button for like pen tool, eraser tool, and pen tool. Right. I want to do icons as well, so I can change the cursor on the fly. That will be pretty interesting. And so yeah, that's all for this stream. And yep, we had a few viewers and no chatters till now. So yeah, that's all from my side for this stream, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.